Hi everyone, this is Plum D with PhoneArena, welcoming you to our tips and tricks guide for the Samsung Galaxy Note 8. We gathered some of the most useful options and actions that you can perform with Samsung's new superphone. Before we begin, I would like to remind you that we've time-stamped each hint in the description of this video, so feel free to check it out if you'd like to navigate easily through the content. With that out of the way, let's dig in. Let's start with the basics. If you're transitioning from another Android phone, you might be surprised by the fact that there is no on-screen app drawer button present on the Note 8. To access this section of the phone, just swipe up from any part of your screen. You can also swipe down to access the app drawer, but we believe that there is a better use for this action. If you go to Settings, Display, and then Home Screen, you'll find this option called Quick Open Notification Panel. Enable it and you'll be able to access the notification panel with a swipe down from any part of the screen, which is really nifty for one-handed use. The home screen section of settings also allows you to disable the app drawer altogether for an iPhone-like experience. If you'd like to enable it, just tap Home Screen Layout and choose Home Screen only. There are lots of ways to take a screenshot on the Note 8. The old-fashioned method involves pressing the power key and the volume down button at once. If you're not a fan of the button combination, you can also do a screenshot by swiping the edge of your hand across the screen. If this gesture is not working, go to Settings, Advanced Features, and then see if Palm Swipe to Capture is enabled. Finally, you can also ask Bixby to take a screenshot for you. Summon the Smart Assistant by pressing and holding the dedicated button on the left side, or by saying Hi Bixby. Then, simply say take a screenshot and you're all set. Okay, so you've taken a screenshot. Now what? Well, you might have noticed that a preview menu will appear in the first few seconds after a screen grab. This menu gives you the possibility of checking an item on your screen with Bixby Vision or editing anything you've captured via 3 tools. The first tool from left to right is a scrolling screenshot. Tap on that button and the phone will scroll down and automatically capture anything that appears on the display. Icon number 2 represents a draw option, which is pretty self-explanatory. Last but not least, you have the crop tool. Tap on the crop button and you will see a preview with the on-screen buttons and top taskbar automatically cropped off. Of course, you can tweak the selection to your liking. If you don't like Samsung's default arrangement of the on-screen navigation keys, you can move them around by going to Settings, Display, and then Navigation bar. The button layout option at the bottom will let you swap the back and recents buttons. When it comes to the various different methods of unlocking your phone, you're kinda spoiled for choice with the Samsung Galaxy Note 8. You can go with the typical pattern, PIN, or password which you'll find on virtually any modern smart device, but you can also employ the various biometric authentication methods that scan your face, iris, or fingerprint. All of these are located in the lock screen and security submenu of settings. Pressing the screen lock tab will display them in a nice and orderly fashion. Keep in mind that using a biometric solution such as iris or fingerprint scanning will require you to set up a pattern or any of the other classical unlocking methods first. Samsung Themes is the place to go if you'd like to give your handset a more personalized look without diving deep into Google Play. There are 3 ways of accessing the app, the easiest of which is a long press on the home screen followed by a tap on the Wallpapers and Themes button at the bottom left. As you can see, there's a lot to choose from, but the keys at the bottom will help you navigate through it all. Wallpapers will only change the background of the home screen, while Themes will give a more complete look to your phone, changing the color scheme of things like the notification shade and so on. You also have access to custom always-on display designs, as well as various icon packs. There's no need to download any of the so-called cleaner apps on this or any other smartphone, as they often do more harm than good. On the Note 8, Samsung offers its very own optimization tool called Device Maintenance, which can be accessed through the settings menu. Make sure to use it anytime you feel your phone performing slower than usual, as it will detect and remove any malware apps, clear up storage space, close background services, and all of that good stuff. Trying to locate something on your device can sometimes be a challenging affair, especially after you've used it for a while. Fortunately, the Note 8 has a function which allows you to search your entire phone. You will find it at the top of your app drawer. You can look up pretty much anything: documents, multimedia, notes, settings, and so on. If you've disabled the app drawer, just swipe up to activate the function. Screen mode features several different options which can help you pick the right color profile for your needs. It is located in the display submenu of settings. Adaptive display should be enabled by default here and is an excellent choice if you're into bold and saturated colors, but those of you looking for a more accurate color representation should probably try the basic mode instead. If you're making the switch from another Android brand or an older Samsung smartphone, you might need some time to get used to the edge panel of the Note 8. Of course, this feature is optional and can be disabled, but I find it to be quite useful as it offers quick access to a number of different features. You can access the edge screen section by going to Settings and then Display. There, you'll see two sections, Edge Panel and Edge Lighting. Edge Lighting will light up the edges of the display when you get notifications. It's a bit distracting for me, so I personally have it turned off. Tapping on Edge Panels reveals various different sections which can be enabled for your Edge panel. There's a lot to choose from, while the sections can also be combined. Tapping on the three dots at the top right will lead you to the Handle Settings menu, from where you can customize the Edge handle itself, which is this thing right here. While we're still on the Edge panel topic, let's talk about a little functionality that's unique to the Note 8. The App Edge panel allows you to create pairs between apps for easy multitasking. You can, for instance, open the YouTube app and the browser, or your favorite messenger and an S Pen picture editing app with a single tap only, instead of fumbling with opening them one by one, then splitting the screen to fit them. If you'd like to create an app pair, open the App Edge menu, hit the plus icon, and then Create App Pair at the top right corner. Keep in mind that the first app you select will appear at the top in split screen mode, while the second one will be placed at the bottom. Of course, there are a lot of apps out there, and the App Edge panel doesn't have unlimited space for all the possible parent combinations. This is why it's a good idea to know how to go into split screen multitasking mode. A quick way of accessing this feature is by pressing the Recents button at the bottom of the screen. You'll see two icons next to the Close button. Choosing either one will enable multi-window mode, the difference being that the one on the left provides a cropping tool which pins your selection to the top of the screen, while the one in the middle splits the screen into equal parts. Furthermore, a long press on the Recents key while inside an app will also prompt the split screen to open. It's also important to note that you can move the middle bar up and down to adjust window size, while tapping on the bar itself reveals several different options. Here, you'll see two new icons in addition to the ones we've discussed before. This one allows you to switch the windows, while the one to its right can shrink the app you have on screen. From there, you can even minimize it, which will result in a floating icon that works like a chat head from Facebook Messenger. Did you know that you can use two accounts with popular chat apps like WhatsApp and Viber? Once you install an app that's compatible, you will get a notification to enable two accounts, so if you have one account for work and a personal one, you can receive messages on both. To access the settings for Dual Messenger, go into Settings, then Advanced Features and Dual Messenger. Once an app is enabled, a second icon for it will appear on the home screen, where you can log in with your second account. The Galaxy Note 8 has its own internet browser, but chances are that you'll probably end up using Google Chrome. If you want to have an easier time browsing Chrome with one hand, you might want to try the experimental bottom positioned address bar. Keep in mind that you can try this on other Android phones as well, but I find it to be exceptionally useful on the huge screen of the Note 8. To do this, tap your address bar and type in Chrome followed by the colon symbol, 2 forward slashes, and then flags. This will open up Chrome's super secret hidden menu that can potentially break a lot of things, so just don't change any setting you're not familiar with. Now, hit the three-dot menu at the top portion of the browser and go to Find In page. Then, search for Chrome Home. Now, make sure to enable this feature, then relaunch the browser so that the changes could take place. After launching the app again, your address bar should be at the bottom of your screen. Now let's move on to a few S Pen tips and tricks. If you take the stylus out of the phone while it's locked, the Screen Off Memo app starts right away, allowing you to jot down notes without any delay. Notice the tiny arrow pointing down? Tap it to create a new page and create ultra-detailed notes up to 100 pages long. Once you're done writing a note, you can press this button and pin it on the Always On display for easy access. With the Note 8, it's easier than ever to create a GIF out of a video by using the S Pen. Just take the stylus out, access the Air Command menu, tap on the Smart Select, and choose Animation. Then select the area you want to capture and play the moment. GIFs will automatically be created and you can then easily share them around. The S Pen's Air Command menu hosts a lot of nifty features, but if we have to name the most useful one, it would have to be the improved translate functionality. It lets you translate not only individual words, but entire sentences as well, while you can also do conversion of units and foreign currencies. In order to do so, enter the Air Command menu and select Translate. You will see a white and green bar pop up with two languages. The one on the left is the language you're translating from, while the one on the right is the language you're translating to. After you set these up, hover your pen over some text. You can switch between the translation of single words and entire phrases from the green button on the left. The Galaxy Note 8 should come with the PenUp app pre-installed, which is a great portal for coloring books and other fun content. However, those of you who are or want to become more artistic could benefit from installing a few extra creativity apps. If you want to pick up on the basics of drawing, we recommend giving Learn How to Draw a try. This app features a lot of tutorials covering the beginner, intermediate, and advanced levels. Although the majority of the material here is concerned primarily with comic book style drawing, there are some invaluable lessons to be found. Meanwhile, Autodesk Sketchbook is a great choice for more advanced users. It offers a multitude of tools to play around with, such as various types of paintbrushes, customizable pencils, pens, and markers, as well as many stamps, shaped brushes, and a full-fledged layer editor with up to 3 layers and 16 blending modes. We would love to give you a more detailed review of these apps, but we have to keep the length of this video within reasonable bounds. Thus, if you're interested in discovering more ways of expressing your creativity with the S Pen, we've included a link to our written article called Best S Pen Apps for the Galaxy Note 8. Feel free to check it out in the description of this video. Finally, let's cover some camera-related functionalities. Knowing how to quickly access the camera of the Note 8 is one of those things you want to get familiar with right off the bat. A simple double tap on the power or lock key is all that's needed to access your camera for those moments where you might want to capture something ASAP. You can do that from virtually anywhere, straight from the lock screen, while browsing the internet, or while you're inside an app. As you may know, the Note 8 is the first dual-camera Samsung handset which allows for some pretty nifty features. One of these is Live Focus, a more advanced form of the portrait mode that can be found on most dual-camera phones. It allows users to adjust the level of background blur before or after an image is captured, which gives finer control over the looks of a photograph. Access Live Focus by tapping on the dedicated button in the camera app. You can tinker with the background blur from this slider right here, or after taking the picture when you're viewing it in the gallery. To exit Live Focus, tap on the button again. The camera app of the Note 8 features a new full view toggle. When enabled, you will notice that the viewfinder will expand to cover a lot more of a given scene. This is no mere cosmetical change, as the mode actually allows you to quickly switch between the 4:3 and 80.5:9 aspect ratios when taking photos. The Note 8 defaults to 1080p Full HD video recording, which is not the best it's capable of. If you want to change that, tap the gear icon when inside the camera app. Then, go to Video Size under the Rear Camera tab. We recommend shooting in UHD, also known as 4K video. It is recorded at 30 frames per second and offers the best amount of detail. If you're recording a lot of movement, you might want to consider 1080p at 60 frames per second, but for general use 4K should look best. Remember that 4K video also takes up a lot of space on your phone, and you might need to get additional storage via a micro SD card. Another cool feature is controlling the camera with your voice. Saying things like smile or cheese will allow you to capture pictures and record videos. You can enable this function by scrolling all the way down in the camera settings and enabling the voice control toggle. If you found this information useful, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to our channel. For even more tips and tricks on the Samsung Galaxy Note 8, make sure to check out our written articles, the links to which are in the description below. This has been Plum and D with PhoneArena. Thanks for watching and see you next time.